We are doing the April Chakra Divination Challenge. We're on Throat Chakra, or I'm on Throat Chakra, catching up for April. This is by Shuffling Fate on Instagram, and I just pulled the cards and just looking at the prompts and the cards, I was like, whoa, this is kicking my butt, in a really good way though. So the throat chakra, this is super important. Before I really started working, like thinking about chakras, this one was massively blocked for me a little over a year ago, and I'll tell the story at the end. But anyway, it's one means a lot to me because this was like a little mountain for me to like open up. Anyway, but I'll tell you guys how I did because it was massively blocked off. So with that said, the first prompt is communicate about, and this is the Page of Cups. So, communicate. I need to be communicating about things that I feel a heart connection to and sharing those, and things that help open me up, help open up my heart. And, you know, the throat and the heart chakra, they're connected, right? I mean, all the chakras are connected, but they are right next to each other. So things coming from my heart need to be voiced and expressed. And this is all about expression. I love how she's touching her heart. Like that is the key. That's the entrance way to like my soul, I feel like. But with that said, let's read what the Amazing Star Child Tarot Guidebook says. I mean, look, also Lightworker's Guide. It is such a beautiful guidebook. But so okay. Page of Cups. Alright, so keywords for this are imaginative, youthful, free, emotional, and sentimental. So things I'm sentimental about, just all of that. The message is trust your inner voice and feelings. You are on the right path. It is the beginning phase of a new adventure, project, or idea. Take this time to work through your creative processes. They will guide you more than you know. Your psychic abilities are on high. Trust them. So, yeah, we're communicating that, right? Communicating inner voice and feelings, what the heart whispers. That's so beautiful, this card. That's the key. That is, it's not so much communicating about it, but also that is like the key to expression. If, you know, obviously if it's not my inner voice or my inner feelings, you know, that'd be like, there'd be a huge disconnect, right? Heart needs to be included. And, hold on a second, sorry, let me turn down the music. Okay. Alright, I like background music, but I had to turn it down. Alright, so the second one is Express Yourself By. And I pulled this again, I pulled this for the heart chakra too. 5 of Swords. Express myself by, and I feel like this, like, the inner voice, inner feelings, like my inner truths, like things that I not just know intellectually that are my truth, but also feel in my soul that are my truth. So, not expressing myself by negativity or just pure emotions, you know, like we all go through various emotional states, right? But really, getting to the core of my, expression. Express yourself by. Yeah, not expressing myself on passing emotions of all kinds. Like, what is my true? What is the true core of my feelings? Right. But we'll read the message again, just to get a better grasp. 5 of Swords is following me. All right, so. Express myself by. So this indicates a state of entrapment or negativity that has been self-inflicted through conflict, disagreements, or impulsive behavior. There has been an involuntary burdening of yourself or others. It is important to step back and take a look at the bigger picture. Yeah, so not getting caught in the weeds of like everyday emotions and situations and things that piss us off or put me in a bad mood. Not expressing myself on those. Like expressing myself in the higher version of me, the bigger version of me, the bigger picture of my life, you know. It's like gossip versus true communication of the soul. But So put everything into perspective and realize where your true priorities and truths lie. Are your opinions and views more important than your relationships? How are you affecting other people? Is your ambition coming from a place of love or fear? And how can my words and actions transform this difficult situation? Let's see. So expressing myself by, so shifting a negative energy to one of positive change. And but I do like, well, overall the message that is resonating for this is getting bigger perspective, getting new, different perspective, and realizing, yeah, my actual truths and what my heart feels and what I feel in my soul and know in my soul to be true. And yeah, not getting caught in the weeds of everyday things. Higher. Let's go higher. Throat chakra is a higher chakra. So the next one was release this judgment. And this was like, whoa, Star Child. The first message that came to me, and I really try, it's like I almost feel like I need to apologize for this judgment. Because we all have demons, right? We all have our shadow. Not judging somebody by the demons that they carry, the bonds that they have within themselves. I have a cat up here. Really? Not judging people by their situation, what they've had to go through. I feel like that's what that's telling me, but I really try not to do it. So it's like, I apologize. I was like, I know everyone has their own walk. Everyone has their own burdens to bear. Things that might seem like not a big deal to me that I can overcome quickly might be like huge mountains for somebody else, and vice versa. Things that like totally just throw a monkey wrench into my in my mind might be not a big deal for other people. So knowing that like we're all individuals, so things affect us all differently, and you know, not judging people by how they have to deal with their own inner shadow, their own demons. I feel like this is like just not judging people by their demons, because we all have demons. So I'm not, no judgment if that's how they, if other people choose to like not choose, well, I got the choice, how people deal with their the things that hold them back. I have my own things. I was like, before I start judging others, I need to be working on myself, which is what the chakra stuff is for too, right? But tarot, learning about myself, learning how to overcome those initial thoughts and judgments on people and myself. Oh hell, okay. Not judging myself by the shit that make like that's another, oh my gosh, not just other people. Holy crap, epiphany. Things that I'm mad about, things that piss me off. I get mad that like the things that like it's like that suck me into this vortex. I'm like, why does this get to me so badly? This, because like it's things that are like, I know they're not that big of a deal, but they just get my head all wrapped up, and like I'm just like, oh my gosh, stop. Why does this play me like a fiddle? I need to, but that's good. It's like how we learn, like, okay, this type of situation just makes me have a meltdown. How do I overcome it? How do we want to choose to overcome? There, oh my gosh. There's like, there. Not beating myself up that I have my own demons to have to overcome. Like, we need to all overcome. Oh my gosh, okay. That's that. There we go. There we go. Alright, so oppression. This is release this judgment. I don't pull this card a lot, so I'm not used to seeing the devil, but so release this judgment of ego, ignorance, dependency, and temptation. Just forgiving. Releasing judgment, I feel like, is in sort of forgivingness. So what is holding me back at this time? It could be that you already know what it is, but you have not been able to say it out loud. It is time to acknowledge a state of entrapment that is happening in your life. This could be a negative relationship with someone, a fearful mindset, or some kind of addiction. Oppression may also indicate a lack of moderation or self-control. Know that you are fully capable of breaking free from these habits in order to look back on this time with a sense of victory and relief. Something big needs to change. This card may also indicate that you may be too focused on the material things in life that are distracting you from recognizing your spiritual self. So, how can I break free from the bonds that have been holding me back? Am I ready to let go? Wow, so it's like releasing this judgment, and this card comes up. Like, whoa. One reason why I was like, I have to do this challenge, because some of the cards, like, I was pulling up before I started doing the videos, I was like, whoa, whoa. Yeah. So releasing the judgment. Also, it's like when you're working, like when I'm working through my shadow and just observing it without judgment, so that in order to transcend it and let it go, and not beating myself up for not having the wisdom of my mistakes, or not seeing the wisdom to prevent my mistakes in life, and however that is, or my shortcomings, and me as a human, and yeah, my fearful mindset that's like kind of controlling, like learning to release that, so it's not the fear of things and that the oppression, like negative mindset, learning discipline, like being able to discipline my mind so it's not lack of self-control. That's, you know, the fear of being able to have discipline, or the fear of self-control, or lack of moderation, just knowing that I can discipline that in order to release it. Not letting the fear control. Because that is sort of like a fear, right? Just being able to face those demons, you know, observe the things that hold me back, and release them. You know, don't hate on them that I have these things that hold me back. Don't hate on it, but just be aware of it, observe it, and then find a way to go around it, or through it, or over it. So, anyway, and then the last card is Know This Truth. And it's the moon, and this is all about receptivity, right? Know this truth. Know that everything I'm seeking is inside me. I kind of just, this journey I'm on is just about reminding me, helping me to remember. It's nothing I don't already know. I just am getting prompts, I guess. These prompts are reminding me of that everything I'm looking for is within me. I am what I'm looking for. I'm going outside to look for it, but it's bringing me back to myself. And then also, I feel like on a Know This Truth, I feel like my dreams, the past 2 nights, my dreams I've been remembering parts of my dreams, and they've been coming to me better. I wonder if it's because I'm sleeping next to 3 crystals. I'm wondering if it helps. But knowing this truth, knowing that my dreams can speak to me, knowing that I can look at under the surface of things, or myself, I can look at my subconscious and know not to get trapped there. In the Fountain Tarot, it talks about the embracing the darkness. You know, being willing to face the darkness of ourselves, our subconscious, unconscious minds and souls, or this part of our soul that is subconscious and unconscious, and not getting stuck there, and not being afraid of being stuck there, because I know I can come back out again. But like learning myself through that process. Yeah. And just being open to receiving as it comes, not being in a rush. It comes when it comes, and you can't rush the process. And that's with anything. Divine timing is with everything. So trust that it will come. I will learn, and I'll have my epiphanies, and I will find my inner truths as it comes. It is a process. But let's look at the card as well. So Know This Truth. Wow. Oh my gosh. The moon is a card of sensitivities, dreams, and imagination, and psychic powers. It may indicate a time of insecurity due to external influences or forces in your life. My boat's been rocked a few times. Who or what is holding you back from connecting with your higher self? Wow, this throat chakra. These messages. The moon also addresses the deeper realms of the subconscious and the shadow thoughts and feelings we experience as humans. It is important to acknowledge this side of yourself as a balancing contrast to your lighter or happier facets, but to not let it take over your mind completely. The moon is also a card of illusion. Things are not necessarily as they seem. So things that I might be really afraid of, they're probably not as bad as I'm, like the fear of my shadow self is probably not as bad. And it really isn't. I know it's not. Logically, I know it's not, but emotionally, that fear is strong. It is therefore important to let go of any past traumas or influences that are distorting your perception. Remember, we create our experiences and reality from the vibrational quality of our thoughts. The power of your mind is limitless. So how can I work with the darker aspects of my thoughts and feelings in order to move forward? How can I work with my shadow self? How can I tune into my psychic abilities? So anxiety, dreams, intuition, fear, mystery, imagination, shadow work. This is such a loaded card. I love it. Yeah. Wow. So know this truth. Like, ooh, wee. That's power. So it's really telling me, like, I'm holding myself back in ways, even though I feel like I have come a long way. I like to, like, remind yourselves how far you've come. I always tend to forget, and then I have to remind myself, like, where was I a month ago, a year ago, you know, like 5 years ago. So it's not like I'm not making any progress. I am making progress, but I'm still like, I'm ready to face, I want to face more. I want to go deeper, broader, expansive. So anyway, so those are that. Let's see, I don't actually have like blue crystals. I was trying to think, what do I have? I have some awesome magical crystals for the third eye and the crown. But I did just get this week, the chrysacle that I showed you guys. Yeah, I don't know. What do I do for my throat chakra? Okay, well, so crystal wise, not so much. But what I did do, so it was last like April, 6 months before, so like 2017, so 2015, that in the fall of 2015, one of my girlfriends told me about a entrepreneurship here locally for my high school that I went to, which is it was an all-girls school that I went to. It's a really amazing school for girls here that I went to, and they do, well, I guess it is February. So February they do an entrepreneurship event called Mad, Bad, and Dangerous, where it's just all about promoting entrepreneurship for women, and for these young women to, like, you know, come up with ideas and share them with the world. And I love it, but I didn't know about it until one of my other girlfriends told me. They're like, hey, you need to do this. You're a business owner. You need to go speak. And I was like, it ended up being, I couldn't, it was too late for me to speak for the actual event. But the week before, I got to come speak to them at lunchtime. And I knew about it 6 months before. And the idea of public speaking scared the shit out of me. Like, the thought of it. I mean, I took like public speaking in like college, but somehow I made it through. I felt like, well, everyone's having to speak. We're all in this together, so I made it through. So I have not had to do a lot of public speaking, but I'll say, like, even though I was so afraid, even though it was like it did scare me shitless, I felt compelled. I was like, I have to do this. This is a challenge. I feel like my soul's saying, you need to do this. You need to get over this fear. This is holding you back. This fear of public speaking, of being up front in front of people. I'm like, okay, let's do it. Let's do it. And I figured, even if I totally, like, crashed. What are you doing? This cat. I was like, even if I totally bombed the speech, you know, at least I gave it my best effort. Like, I knew it wouldn't be that bad, but either way, so I did it. I faced my fear. I started working on the speech. I didn't want to do it too soon, but as I came up with like little ideas, I would write them down. Hold on, this cat. Sorry, the cat. Even though I was so afraid, my soul was calling out for me to do this, I was like, it reminds me of the video that Wild Moon Woman did about fear versus intuition. So my intuition was revving on high. I was like, this needs to be done. This is part of my path. Even though it's like, I know it's a small deal, but like public speaking, again, like my girlfriend who told me like, hey, do this. She public speaks all the time in front of people. You know, no big deal for work, and it doesn't faze her. But to me, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do it. I can't do it. But I was like, nope, I'm doing it. But the fear is going to be overridden. I don't care if I have to blast through it. So anyway, yeah, so I started working on it, and then I really started, I just nonstop practice, like a few days, like 3 days before, and just, you know, practice my speech, timed my speech, because they were like, you need to time it. And even though I timed it like 5 times, it ended up going way over but anyway, so the morning of, I was practicing in the car, practicing in the mirror. I get there and I'm trying to make sure I maintain breathing. I mean, I had a baby. I did natural childbirth. So like, I know breathing, you know, I know how to breathe, but even then I could not get a hold of myself and, you know, just remain calm. I could feel my adrenaline just flowing up into me, and just, I was like trying to beat it back. Just like maintain maintain Zen. But the most beautiful thing happened. So I get into the auditorium and like I'm sitting down and everyone's so happy to see me again. That like people are remembered. And I see all these young girls come through, and I was like, oh my gosh, this means the world to me to be able to speak to them about like how I did my business and got into business and how much, you know, the pros and cons of being an entrepreneur. But my anxiety was still going up while I was still trying to breathe. And even though I'm really happy to be there on a lot of levels, and I know this is going to be so good for my soul to do this and just overcome this mountain of fear, I could not control my breathing or my anxiety. And somehow, luckily, this blessing from heaven, the blessing from the universe, the teacher said, we're all going to do like a 5-minute meditation. I was like, what? I was like, what is this? And so they did it. It wasn't for me. I was like, I felt like she's doing this for me, but it wasn't. Apparently they do it just to calm all the girls down because they're all excited, and it's right before lunchtime. So we did 5 minutes of meditation, just quiet, and I was able to get control of my breathing in that 5-minute time, and then go up on stage and start my speech. And it ended up being so beautiful. I mean, I was a little nervous, but as I started to just flow. And then they asked me the most beautiful questions after, and I did. I had just like a little note sheet. You know, I didn't do like strict. I did not want to have like some strict, like read this, you know, line for line, you know, like for presidents, you know, on teleprompter. I did not want line for line. I just had little notes, like just to make sure I talked about this topic and this topic and this topic. And they asked me beautiful questions, and it just flowed. And the biggest message that came through to give to them was like, for me personally, I started a business where I had no experience. I didn't know anybody in the industry, like logistics. I had no clue what I was doing other than I had my determination and willpower. That was like all, and you know, resourcefulness, I guess. Yeah, resourcefulness, but just absolute determination to do everything it took. And I just want to let them know, because like there's a lot of recommendations saying like have a couple years of experience in an industry before you start a business in it, which I would recommend. I mean, if you have that, great, but if you don't have that, do not let it stop you. Don't feel like, I mean, if it's depending on the case, I guess, if you have to apprentice somewhere, okay, fine. But if you don't need it, you can still make it happen. Like, I'm living proof that I didn't come from a family of people that were in the logistics industry. I did not know a single soul in the industry. But I ended up meeting people, and I had people that helped me, yes. And, I was very blessed. I had, the people, as soon as, I had the opportunity to start the business, the help came. The right people came to me. The universe delivered for me. It was kind of like, I don't know if this is going to work, but it still worked. So, and I just told them also, following your heart, being connected to whatever you're doing, and have faith that you can do it. You do not need to be this or that, or, you don't need any excuse. And age doesn't matter. Age really doesn't matter. When I hear, really young women, or it doesn't matter, if you're older, younger, in between, whatever your life situation is, hell yeah, you can do it. If it matters to you, if you want to make it happen, trust that you can make it happen. And trust that you wouldn't be getting that guidance from yourself if you weren't meant to make it happen. And even if it doesn't turn out the way you expect it to, into $1 million business or whatever, or, if it is some sort of I'm not going to say failures are good, because they end up, following that dream, putting energy and growing something, it will still help lead you and help you flow into the next thing. So it's not a waste of your time if it's something that is important to you. So anyway, that was, I haven't done any more speeches then, but after I was done, I slept so hard. I felt so mentally and physically, energetically exhausted after it, but I knew I was so depleted, but I was like, you know what? I faced my fear, I faced my demons, I'm going to go hibernate like a bear, and it was so good, and it just made me feel like, yes, I can do this, even though I don't have to, do it a lot, but honestly, it's probably helped for my YouTube channel, right? I'm I used to be so afraid. I'm a very private person, and just breaking through all those fears. Don't let fears hold you back. So, anyway, I hope you guys have a great day, and yeah, I need to do some more business entrepreneurship videos, I think, so in case anyone is interested in that, but yeah. facing fears, overcoming, having faith in yourself, doing whatever it takes. It doesn't take like a shiny, magical tool. You already have it. You are the tool. You can make it happen. Like, this mind is brilliant, right? We can do anything we want. So like I'm saying, like, our minds are brilliant. Like, we are blessed with this tool. Use it. So we can use it. Anyway, and here's one of my cards for the day. I am inspired. I am so inspired by so many of you, so keep that in mind. Like, so inspired. Like, I've seen enough people who have overcome, like, have put themselves out there when I'm like, whoa, if they can, I've told myself, wow, if they're doing it, I can do it too. Like, they're overcoming things that, like, if, that would have held me back. So I'm like, what's holding me back? Nothing. So we're allowed to all be inspired, because that's what it's like, energizing and beautiful to me. So anyway, I hope you guys have a lovely day.